Hi, welcome back, it's Justin. Right, this problem then. It's not a new problem. I've known about it since I first had the tent, but I haven't included it on any of the other videos because I didn't know how it was going to pan out, if it was going to be a catastrophic failure or whether I'd find some solution for it. So here we go. Right, it's a stitching fault on one of the top cones. One of the two top cones on the tent. You can see that it's a problem with factory stitching because you can see the pinholes from the machine, the stitching machine, in the green Silnylon material around about 1/3 around the circumference of the cone. But there were no pinholes in the black reinforced material. Here's a little bit of footage from the time when I was sitting there contemplating what to do, and after that we'll come back and show you what happened. Well, I'm quite disappointed. For about half an hour I thought, oh, this video is a complete bust now, and I felt let down, as you would, and I can't use it and I can't seam seal it. I wanted to add that on as well, and I thought, oh, that's it, stuff it. But on reflection I thought I'd do that filming and show you, and what I'm going to do is obviously complain. I bought it from AliExpress. I'm going to complain and go through the refund or return or whatever mechanism it is, and let you know afterwards how it goes. Hopefully they'll give me a full refund straight away or send me a fresh one, and if they send me a fresh one, at least I've got lots of spare pegs and guy ropes and everything else that comes with it. So unfortunately that's a rather premature end to this video. I'm sorry about that, it's not my fault. Okay, back to the future. 2 years later, it's future Justin, and yeah, so I went to AliExpress and they gave me the runaround. They ignored me, they delayed me, they fobbed me off eventually. They gave me one excuse after another. What I was really after was a replacement tent, because then I could have started afresh and either sent the old one back or kept the old one for spares. No way, they said no way, not doing that. So they said, what do you want to resolve this? I said, well, all right, give me the money. They said no. I said, all right, give me half the money. No. So in the end, it was very unsatisfactory. It went on for about 3 or 4 weeks, and they gave me £10 discount. Ridiculous. So I was so sick of it by then, and I wanted to get on, you know, 3 or 4 weeks into the spring, I wanted to use the tent. So I just accepted it and thought, right, I'll give it a go, and I'll try and repair it myself. So that's what led to this repair. So back to past Justin now, 2 years ago when I made that repair. I videoed it in quite a bit of detail, and looking back it's not bad footage. So here's the repair. Okay, so you remember that the faulty bit was around the turret at the back here, and what I did was laid the tent flat before pitching it and used these safety pins to line up the pinholes through the green and the black material as closely as I could, and then pitch the tent. And I'm quite pleased with how it's turned out, because you can see the green material here is not rippled or folded or damaged in any way. It looks quite uniform. So now it's pitched and I've got some tension on it, I'm able to stitch, and I'll probably overlap both sides, and after I've stitched it all up I'll take the safety pins out and I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, I've finished, I've done it. Now I'm no tailor and it looks pretty scraggy and homemade, but I'm pretty pleased with that. That's about as good as I could have managed. I overlapped it here about 1 inch. You can see a few of the original pinholes here, which I'll go over with seam sealer, a couple of coats inside and out, and outside here this bit was overlapping, so I folded it as neatly as I could and stitched it over for neatness, but that's okay. I'm pretty pleased with that. Here's the inside, and it was this section over the right hand side as we're looking, which was the stitching was faulty. It looks pretty neat, that's not bad at all. Like I say, I'll seam seal it inside and out, but that's okay as far as I can see. And now I'm going to do these pinholes on the green fabric first. Now I know this is going to perhaps look a bit unsightly when it's done, but It's only this one area, and it needs it because otherwise the water's going to get through there dead easily. And then I can just go over my stitching with loads of this stuff, to be honest, because the thread that I used is thicker than the standard thread. So I'm just going to welly this on and sort of stipple it in. Goodness me, that looks ugly, doesn't it? Never mind, that'll do. Let that dry and come back after for a second coat. Okay, so that was 2 years ago, as I said, and now I knew that the cone was the most stressed and tensioned part of the tent. And in fact, those black reinforced areas are a design improvement from the original Lanshan tent, where those cones at the top were common faults and stretching and ripping and pulling the stitching apart. So I was quite wary about just heading out into the hills with a tent with my own rather scruffy repair that you just saw. So I wanted to test it, and that's what led to the heavy rain test video, the high wind test video, where you got blown to bits last night, and the snow video. Hopefully you've seen all those. If not, go and have a look. I've got a back catalogue on this tent. And it gave me a lot of confidence to do all the wild camping, and I've done quite a lot. And it has never leaked once. Brilliant. I'm very, very pleased with it. 2 years and no leaks at all inside the tent, so that's a win, isn't it? So let's go and have a look now of what it looks like right now, but inside and outside, so you can compare with when the repair was fresh 2 years ago. Here we go then. Here it is, the top cone. You can see the threads are all intact, they haven't come loose. Oh, you can see also that I really did plaster it with the seam sealer all the way around and tucked in underneath that black section too. And it worked really well. It's really very flexible. Look at that. And obviously the tent has been up and down so many times that has flexed quite a lot. Not to mention when the wind was blowing and so on. So really pleased with the silicone. All the way around the tent, not just there. So the outside looks more or less as it did the day I did it. Let's go and have a look at the inside. There's no loose stitching at all. I can see it quite well there. The gold thread. But it hasn't come loose, it hasn't ripped, it hasn't stretched, it hasn't torn, it hasn't leaked. I also put silicone on the inside of this. I know strictly speaking you don't need to, but given this particular repair that's what I did anyway. So you can see that even with this really thin Silnylon material, it's possible to do a repair of a high tensioned area. As long as you do it carefully and take your time, it's possible, you can do it. The only thing I would have done differently is to use a thinner thread. You can see that the thread that I used was quite bulky, overkill really, too thick. It would have been just as good with a thinner thread, no problem. So there you are. I hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed the repair. If you did, hit the like button, subscribe and hit the bell.
Ding, ding.
See you on the next one.